Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about something huge, the invisible strings of control that come with moving your broadcast operations to the public cloud. You know, for US broadcasters, this isn't just a simple tech upgrade, it's actually a massive geopolitical gamble.
All right, before we really get into it, just a quick heads up. This is part 4 of a 5-part series we're doing. All of our insights today are pulled from a really comprehensive report by Virtualization Options LLC. Now, it's super important to remember this is just general information, okay? It's not legal advice. For anything specific to your organization, you've got to talk to your own legal counsel.
So let's just cut right to the chase with the big question. Your broadcast is in the cloud, but do you really control it? I mean, you've moved over, you've embraced the cloud for all its great benefits, the efficiency, the scale. But here's the thing. In that process, did you maybe, just maybe, hand over the keys to your entire kingdom without even realizing it?
Okay, so first up, broadcasting's cloud transformation. To really get a handle on the risks we're talking about, we have to understand the premise, the whole new landscape. Moving to the cloud? It's been a total game changer for broadcasters, no doubt. But it's also concentrated a ton of power and infrastructure into the hands of just a few.
I mean, just think about it for a second. The backbone of modern broadcasting, it's now dominated by just 3 US-based companies. We're talking Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. Pretty much every single part of your broadcast chain, from storing your files to streaming live, is running on their gear. And yeah, that's super efficient, but it's also incredibly fragile. It's basically a single point of failure with massive geopolitical weight.
You know, there's a quote from the report we're drawing from that just nails this issue. It says, "The shift to cloud-based broadcasting has created dependencies on infrastructure that exists within legal jurisdictions and geopolitical spheres of influence that may conflict with broadcasters' operational needs." I mean, what does that really mean? It means your ability to get on the air now depends on companies that are frankly huge players in global politics, in trade disputes, in national security. And their interests? They might not always line up with yours. All right, next section. Let's get into the nitty-gritty, the physical and legal foundation of all this. To really understand the risks, we've got to peel back the layers and see what the cloud is actually made of.
So let's just get one thing straight right away. The cloud is not a cloud. It's not this magical, abstract thing floating up in the sky.
Nope, it's a physical place. We're talking millions of actual servers, countless routers, and endless miles of cables, all humming away inside thousands of enormous, very real buildings scattered all across the globe.
And because it's physical, it's got physical dependencies, and that means vulnerabilities. Think about it. These massive data centers need rare earth minerals for their components. They need specialized transformers and cooling systems. They're connected by these huge fiber optic networks, often running under the ocean. Every single one of those things is a potential choke point. They can be hit by trade restrictions, supply chain nightmares, or even, physical damage.
Okay, so that's the physical stuff. Now let's talk about the legal layer that sits right on top of it. And this is where it gets really interesting, starting with something called the U.S. Cloud Act. This thing is a total game changer. It basically gives U.S. law enforcement the power to force U.S.-based tech companies to hand over data. And it doesn't matter one bit where in the world that data is actually stored. So that whole idea of your data being safe because it's in another country? Poof, gone. And that, as you can imagine, creates some serious conflicts with other countries' law.
And believe it or not, it gets even stickier. Because of something called administrative sovereignty, your infrastructure is never really truly your own. What does that mean? It means that the cloud provider's own staff, the people with the keys to the kingdom, the highest level of access, can be legally compelled in secret by a court like the FISA court to go into your systems. They can be ordered to access your data, change it, copy it, whatever. And the craziest part? They're hit with a gag order. So you'll never even know it happened.
So, let's put this all together. We're going to look at the new levers of control that pop up when you combine these physical and legal realities. We're talking about a world that goes way beyond the old license challenge.
Yeah, this chart really lays it out. On one side, you have the traditional ways of controlling broadcasters. Public license challenges, going through the whole FCC regulatory process. It was public, it was slow, there were appeals. But the new control, that's a whole different ballgame. We're talking secret court orders, export controls, emergency directives. It's fast, it's quiet, and there's often no one to appeal to. So, what does this all mean for you as a broadcaster? Well, it means the government has a whole new toolkit to influence you. They could hit you with export controls, cutting off your access to, say, the latest AI or encryption tech. They could slap you with security mandates, forcing you to allow government-approved monitoring on your systems.
In a national crisis, they could just seize or restrict your data centers. Or, with an emergency order, they could force you to block content or even throttle your service, all without a judge ever seeing it.
Okay, enough with the theory. Let's look at some case studies where these risks become very, very real. Because this stuff isn't just hypothetical.
Let's start with a scenario laid out in the source report. Picture this. It's December 2025, and a huge AWS outage hits. Just one technical glitch in one of their most important data center regions, say Northern Virginia, could set off a massive, catastrophic domino effect. What's the damage? Millions! In a flash, millions of websites and critical online services go dark. Major media outlets? Silenced. It's a stark reminder that when you concentrate all your infrastructure in one basket, you also concentrate the risk. One single point of failure could literally silence millions of voices.
And this isn't just about technical failures. Take the real-world incident with the International Criminal Court. The chief prosecutor suddenly lost access to their email. Why? Not a bug, not an outage. It was because of U.S. sanctions targeting their cloud service provider. I mean, that sets a really chilling precedent, right? Your most critical communications could be cut off at any moment simply because of a political fight that has nothing to do with you.
And believe me, people are noticing. Major broadcasters over in Europe are already starting to migrate away from U.S. cloud providers because of these very concerns. They're making a conscious choice to invest in their own infrastructure or find alternatives. Why? To avoid these exact risks and to hang on to what they call operational sovereignty. So all of this leaves us with one final, really provocative question to think about. In this cloud era, who is the ultimate broadcaster? When a third party can be secretly forced to take control of your entire infrastructure, is it really you in charge? Or is it the company, and by extension the government, that holds the keys to the cloud?